Hi there, traders. This is Brad Gilbert with today's trading action. All right, a little bit more geopolitical disruption. South Korea, okay, put in martial law, and then they've taken it off. The Korean won and a few other things have gone a little bit cuckoo. They look like they're stabilizing, but the rest of the markets, there's not a lot going on, and the market is very confused as to where the next leg of trading is. Right? If you look across, the dollar index, dollar Swiss, euro, sterling, well, Aussie and Kiwi are still floundering on the back of the China renminbi or the yuan. The tariffs that are being put on China are going to impact Australia and New Zealand for the foreseeable future. Now, our little dreamboat trending instrument there, dollar yen and the yen crosses, okay, just having a bit of a reprieve, okay, a little bit of a bounce. This is a nice little clean out. By no means do I think the trend is over, but this is one of those moves where you do get a bit of a flush out, right? And if you were one of the last ones to get into that trend, well, you're probably licking your wounds at the moment. Now, just looking across the rest of the yen crosses, Aussie yen still in play, right? A little bit of a false break. Well, not quite a false break yet, but euro yen, sterling yen, you're seeing a little bit of a break higher here in Swiss yen and also CAD yen. Now, Aussie yen and Kiwi yen still sliding to the downside, but I like the fact that these instruments are squeezing a little bit higher. What that does is it rejuvenates the downtrend, right? May sound a little bit weird, but if you can recognize when these things potentially may pop, that's a good thing because what it does is it takes out all the stale short positions and it reinvigorates the move to the downside. So I'm sort of reasonably excited about that. Now, looking at the data that's coming out, we've seen some European PMI data a little bit weaker than expected. The services data a little bit stronger. Like there's nothing major coming out this week. So it's hard to get, super pumped. And this is why I've been really focusing on the yen and the yen crosses because they just are performing exceptionally well, right? So just looking at the markets, we do have a bit of a risk on profile, right? US equity futures are up. We're seeing, actually, the dollar pairs are up and the dollar block is down, I should say. So not a risk on profile by any stretch. I got that a little bit mixed up. It's because I changed my template here because I wanted to see what was happening with the Asian equities, right? And they have sort of stabilized. And if I come back to follow the trail, which gives us an easier look around the relationship between the bonds, the equities, and the currencies, now you'll see it a bit clearer, right? US equity futures up. The treasury yields, the long dated stuff is, the 10, 20, 30-year bonds are up again, right? That's giving the dollar a nice little bump to the top side. And so that's pushing euro, sterling, Aussie, Kiwi down and the dollar up, right? So that disruption from that geopolitical situation in Asia today, it's a little bit more of what we've had, right? Since, it's like going back about a month or two. There's always been one or two things that are sticking their nose in the markets and disrupting things. But you know why this is coming up? Because there's no major news out, right? We've got the non-farm payrolls coming out on Friday. And by then, you know what? The markets are pretty worn out at the moment. We just have to sit back and wait, right? Wait for the trends to come back into play. The major pairs aren't doing much. I'm waiting to see what dollar yen does here once this move stalls. I'd love to see dollar yen back up towards 151 and a half. Great levels to get short dollar yen again. Otherwise, guys, not much more to report. It's one of those weeks that just doesn't make not a lot going on. And I'll tell you what, I've managed to take some good cash out of it on the yen. So that's a good week, right? When nothing's happening and you still make some money, that's the way to be going about it. All right, guys. Anyway, I don't want to waste your time here. There's not much really going on across the board. All right, have a good one. All the best. Cheerio.